right, we are live, Dale.
Hey, everybody, it's Dale Jr. Here at the Dirty Mo Media Studios. We just had our guest, Jerry Nadeau, just left the room. And Jerry was awesome. So you're going to love that podcast, or love to hear from Jerry. A lot of people have been asking us to get him on and wondering what he's been up to. So it was great. A lot of great conversations. So I didn't know anything about his career as far as how he got to the Cup Series, and it was quite interesting. So, and we talk about the crash, too, that ended his career and what he's been up to ever since. But now it's time for Ask Junior. You guys have been sending in your questions to @Xfinity on Twitter, and Lee's got them ready to go.
Yep, our first question from Skylar Fox. After using radio style on TV, would you ever be interested in doing actual radio calls in the future?
Skylar Fox, man, he's a good guy. Does a lot of cool drawings. Skylar drew those two cars that are sitting up there above that Cale Yarborough uniform. So, yeah, Skylar's an artist, and he also does some online schemes for iRacing. But great dude. I don't think I'm interested in radio, that's for sure. I really don't enjoy doing radio style that much. It's kind of fun at the Glen. And we'll see how it is at Indy. I didn't enjoy doing it at all at Pocono. Can't really remember where else we've done it. But it's fun at the Glen because the Glen's a fun track to go stand over in the bus stop and talk about cars and racing. But outside of the Glen, I don't really know if I'm going to love it. So the radio style of calling a race is so much different and foreign to me. You can tell there's a major difference between Bagley, that worked the S's for us this weekend, who does radio every week. There's a big difference between how he does it and how I do it and how Jeff Burton does it. Me and Jeff were having a conversation about this on the way out of the racetrack. And he's got a gift. He's got a gift to call a race a certain way, and I don't have that gift. And I'm not sure I could develop it. So I like TV, and I think that there's a lot about TV that helps me do my job better or be an analyst because I feel at home in the booth. But there you go.
Next question from John Biggerstaff. What did you think about the Indy cars racing in downtown Nashville, and do you think NASCAR could ever have a street course race?
I think NASCAR will have a street course race. They're working on trying to put one together for Chicago. And that should be coming in the next year or two. I don't know. I didn't get to watch any of the race from Nashville. So we were going to the airport, flying home, and by the time we got home, the race was over with. But so I think that the town was excited, thrilled. It was a big party. It was a weekend full of content and entertainment, concerts. No better place than Nashville to do that. So hopefully they'll have continued success going forward with that race. Street races are always kind of fun and unique, but I don't know what it would look like or feel like for NASCAR. And I'm game to try it. I'm game to give it a go. As far as a fan and observer and a broadcaster, I'd love to see them do it one time to see if it works for us.
Next question from Jeff Letts. Following Chase Elliott's penalty at Watkins Glen and his ability to contest the win despite starting in the back, are the penalties for failing tech strong enough, or should NASCAR increase the penalty?
Oh, well, I don't think so. I think that that was a pretty if you fail and they take your crew chief and they put you in the back, I think that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. I don't know what else they could do to you. So, he overcame that and had a fast enough car, a brilliant drive, to be honest with you. So there was one point in those last several laps where he was a second faster than anyone in the field. And I know that Larson probably had some in the tank, and he wasn't being pressured, so he didn't have to run a brilliant lap. But what Chase was doing there for a little while was pretty impressive, pretty fascinating to watch. He is a talent. So, I think the rules are. I like it. I like it I like NASCAR to be strict. I like NASCAR to be stern. I like their penalties to be big and harsh. I'm all for extreme, measures in terms of penalties and so forth.
Next
But
one.
I think they got that one. Sorry.
You're
I think
right.
they got that one right.
Next question from J. Neil Patel. Would you like to see a double points event in NASCAR?
I don't know. I don't know why we would want that, but I guess if we had some sort of issue, the pandemic threw some curveballs at the sport. That would have been an opportunity to give that a try, or we may have been forced into a situation to have to do that for a race weekend. So it'd been interesting to see how the drivers would react to that. Would they race harder? Would they race more careful? Would they race more, conservative? I don't know. If it makes them race more conservative or more carefully, and I'm not for it. But if it makes the racing more intense, and if it makes some guys push each other around a little bit more and get more physical, I'm all for it.
Next question from Brian Wright. Is there any chance we get 90s era Winston Cup cars on iRacing? Been dying to drive one on the sim.
Yeah, I'm sure. We talked. I think this is a question we got last week. The content on iRacing. I don't know when. There hasn't been any conversations about anything like that. But so you're just gonna. I think what we need to focus on, and what I'm trying to get iRacing to focus on, is to have a more variety of cars in the series they currently have. So an example of that for everybody who's on here that's a big iRacing fan, the 87 series cars has the Ford and the Monte Carlo. We need the Buick. We need the Pontiac. We need an Oldsmobile. Before we go build a 1990s car, we need to get more variety in the current series, the street stock. We have the Camaro. That's it. We just one Camaro. And so when you join a street stock race, you see 25 Camaros out on the track, and that's really not what sim racing's really supposed to be about. You got to have a variety of different shapes and models of cars to make the immersion more enjoyable, right? That you're really at a race of that you might see on TV or might enjoy as a fan. So the more we have all three makes in the Cup Series with Toyota and Ford and Chevrolet, and go down to the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series, and as we go below that, we need more manufacturers involved, and I'd say that as well on the road side. Have as much of a variety for people to choose from. So when you you get down in the seat and start racing, it's what you would see on TV and what you would see if you were a fan at a racetrack.
Next question from Robert Horvath. As a car lover and motorcycle lover myself, I know you love cars, but do you have any motorcycles in your collection?
Nope. So Dad wasn't a big fan of motorcycles. So I just sold this thing around 2000 as a gift. Budweiser thought it would be a great idea to give me a Buell, which is a motorcycle, and it was a street bike. So they think that they're going to give me this Buell as a gift. I don't know. Nobody asked around, I guess, to see if I was a bike guy. I'm not. But so I'm at Daytona for Speed Weeks for my first Daytona 500. And this Buell shows up at the front of the bus. And it's red, and it's got Budweiser all over it. It's got Budweiser on it in probably about 12 different places. Budweiser here, Budweiser there, Bud here, Budweiser. And under every single one, it said, "Drink responsibly." Whoever thought it was a great idea to gift me the bike from Bud also felt like it was necessary that there was that message on the bike, as this is something you ride on the street, and Bud is a beer. So it really kind of ruined the bike, to be honest with you, is having all that "drink responsibly" everywhere, all over it. I'm not even a bike guy, so I really didn't care. Dad is in his bus about 100 feet away, but he can see my bus. And he says, "What's that bike doing there?" He's talking to somebody, his people. He's like, what the hell's with this bike? Oh, Dale Jr., their bud's giving that to him. Well, no, they're not. I want the title. And so Dad got the title to the bike and made it disappear. I don't know what happened to it, but he stuck it somewhere. And so I could never tag it. So therefore, I could never put it on the highway. And which is probably smart because I had no business riding it. I don't ride bikes. I don't know how to ride a bike, a street bike. I've ran dirt bikes and stuff here and there, but I have no business riding a street bike on the highway. And Dad didn't want me to. And he didn't trust them, didn't like them. And I can see why. Being out on the interstate or on the road or on the highway, I can see they're dangerous. And you got to be smart. If you're a rider, you got to know what you're doing and how to avoid us idiots in our cars, right? So, anyways, that bike set. I parked that bike in Kelly's office at Junior Motorsports. When it was at DEI, we had a little office over there, and I parked that bike inside Kelly's office, and it sat there. It's kind of like a showpiece, if you will, for a decade. Then it came over here to Junior Motorsports, and it's set in this souvenir shop, and it's been just sitting around, right, in a storage unit. Finally, we got a replacement title, and I sold it this past year. Somebody came and took it off my hands. Only time I ever rode it was up and down the driveway one time, probably about 20 years ago. So there's your bike story.
All right, one more question, and this one was probably the most asked question of the week, probably because of your Instagram. But what was ever decided between you and Mike Davis on getting a boat?
Hey!
We've seen a boat on your Instagram.
Yeah!
What's the deal?
So I ended up getting a pontoon and a sun tracker, and me and Amy have been out on it a few times. We enjoy it, love it. Probably going to go out again Thursday. Mike, you tell your end of it.
Can I?
You can if you want.
I don't know what's appropriate to this, but I've been eager to actually say something, and I just didn't know if it was right. But this is now right. He's giving me the green light.
Now's your time.
Let me tell you about this guy. This guy got 2 boats. Yes, he did. And one of them is titled in my name.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm telling you, and I'm going to tell you something else. Just Sunday was the first day I had not been out on it. I am a shipboat captain now. I mean, I'm telling you, I love it. And he did it. I mean, and he called me, and I was like, I was so moved by it, and it's every bit as awesome as I had hoped it would be. And I'm like, I don't know how to express this, I mean, like, he and I text back and forth all the time. Hey, I'm out, I'm doing this,
Yeah.
and he's texting me, and, we were FaceTiming each other, because I think he might have been in South Carolina or something. But, yeah, I mean, are you kidding? It's Dale Jr. I felt so guilty that we even had the conversation on the podcast, because I was like, did I guilt him into this?
No.
But I'm going to tell you, he did the most amazing gesture that and I will be appreciative. I just don't know how to express it.
Man.
But I've certainly wanted to say it, but I didn't want to embarrass him, and he certainly didn't do it for this. But I'll tell you that. I'll tell whoever asked that question, Dale Jr. absolutely delivered the most amazing thing ever. So, yeah. That's
if I'd have known you were going to react the way you did, I'd have got that thing years ago. And I'd have got
like
you,
right now, how I'm reacting now, or but when it happened?
If I'd have known you were going to react the way you did to receiving that boat, I would have got you that boat many, many years ago.
Really?
Absolutely. Because I have valued you more than you'll ever know, and appreciated you. You've came in clutch in so many scenarios, and you've helped us develop so many amazing facets to our brand and our business. And you are well worthy of those type of gestures, and I should have done that. If I'd have known that would have had that kind of impact on you personally, that is exactly what I would have done years and years ago. But yes, me and Mike got our boats.
It's amazing.
And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I love it. owning a pontoon is a great thing. I love parking it. I love pulling it out of the slip. We keep our boats at the same pier. So when I come to get on my boat, I go, hey, there's Mike's boat.
Yeah.
And it's fun, man. We're sending each other Amazon lists of or like, here's the accessories I think I should get,
I have spent more money on this boat just on accessorizing it, and most of it I don't even need.
No.
It's just so much fun. So.
I bought one of those little grills that mounts to the rail.
Oh, I'm going to.
It's just this tiny little thing.
Yeah.
I'm dying just to go out there one morning and just cook.
Yeah.
Right? What the hell for? It's like so impractical, but just cause you can.
I want to say one more thing real quick. I know we're way over time. So like after the conversations that we had during those 2 weeks on the podcast of going back and forth about this boat, generated so much interest. I couldn't believe how many people were. So like now you're posting pictures or you're posting something completely unrelated, but people are always tying it back to the boat. Like I went to New York and I'm in New York and we're doing something around the harbor and they're like, hey, is that your boat that Dale? Okay, so like it was fun. Well, one of the people that really got involved in the conversation was Marty Smith, our buddy, right? Not publicly, very privately. Marty was texting back and forth with me and Dale. And it was this thing, and I say that to say this. I didn't go tell a lot of people about this, but I did text Marty because I want Marty, who loves this guy, loves us both, to be honest with you. Marty listens every week, and he always gives us critiques on text every week and just tells us what he thinks, and I appreciate that. But I texted Marty. I think that Marty was more excited. If you talk about my reaction being something, Marty Smith just reacting to when I told him, hey, look, I got news. That's what I said. I said, I've got news. And I just sent him a picture of the boat. And man, he was so pumped about it. And so like, it is something we're all having fun with. Anybody want to go on a ride? I don't need much of a reason. Let's just line up. Let's go. Yeah. Let's do it.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we can't top that. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate everybody tuning in to support our YouTube channel at Dirty Mo Media and everything else you guys do to support us. We really, really can't thank you enough. And this is, again, the best part of the day for me when we sit down here on Tuesdays is to be able to kind of engage, with our listeners live in the moment. So we always have a blast with Ask Junior, and thank you guys for continuing to send in some great questions. That always makes it fun. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and you'll tune in this weekend to the races at Indy on NBC. Should be a lot of fun. I don't even know where I'm going to be sitting at as far as our radio style locations, but we're going to learn all that when we get there, I guess. But thanks for tuning in today. Take care.